Once a fellow was traveling in England, and he'd lost his way and wanted to get to a certain village. And he went to a country yokel and said, can you tell me the way to Little Puddenham? And the yokel scratched his head and said, well, sir, I do know where that is, but if I were you, I wouldn't start from here. And so in the same way, when one asks, how do I get this experience? That's not quite the right question. And to go out to get it is from the first the wrong approach. Because this sort of transformation of consciousness happens to a person only in the moment when you might say they give up grasping, they start to treat life not as something to be grabbed, when their whole approach to things is no longer clutching. You know, it was a basic teaching in Buddhism that the root of all human suffering is clinging or grasping. Just in the same way as I was suggesting on a previous program, that you can't cling to your breath without losing it. You have to let go of your breath. And for that reason, the word that is used in Buddhism for this experience, it's another word, familiar to you all, nirvana, literally means blow out. Whew. Don't hang on. Don't clutch life. And so one of the great problems is how on earth to get ourselves to give up clutching, to give up clinging. But you see, if that's something you eagerly want to do because you want to get something good out of it, this is still a grasping attitude. Well, you know, in Zen, they have a means of teaching people how to stop clinging. Eka came to Bodhidharma and said, Sir, I want you to accept me as your disciple. And Bodhidharma replied, I have nothing to teach. What I understand is an experience, in other words, and I can't put it into words, and therefore go away, I can't teach it to you. But Eka insisted on being taught, and he waited outside Bodhidharma's cave in the snow, and if you look in the picture by Seshu, you can see Eka standing out there, and Eka got so persistent, and Bodhidharma so persistent in his refusal to teach him, that at last Eka cut off his arm and handed it to Bodhidharma, saying, look, here is the testimony of my sincerity. Please, take me as your disciple. So Bodhidharma said, all right, what do you want? And Eka replied, I have no peace of mind. Please pacify my mind. And by mind, of course, he meant his soul, his self. So Bodhidharma said, bring out your mind here before me, I'll pacify it. But Eka said, when I look for my mind, I can't find it. Bodhidharma said, there, I have pacified your mind. And at that moment, Eka had his Satori. In other words, he had the experience I've tried to describe to you. Because Bodhidharma made him really struggle to catch hold of himself, to find that separate ego, that controlling center which all of us tend to believe ourselves to be. But you know, when you look for it, you can't find it.